Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Trene if you are new here. It's officially been 1 month since we lived in Dallas, Texas, and I figured what would be a better way to celebrate 1 month by doing a Q&A. So I asked you guys on my Instagram to send me some questions, and you guys sent a lot of good ones. So I'm excited to sit down and talk to you guys all about our move and answer your guys' questions. If this is your first video of mine that you're watching, we moved from Phoenix, Arizona to Dallas, Texas last month in August, and we're just really enjoying it so far, and I'm excited and looking forward to getting out more and seeing more of Dallas. Starting with the most asked question is, why did we pick Dallas, Texas? What made us pick Dallas, Texas? So Lavelle and I have wanted to move out of Arizona for quite some time now. We just didn't know when, where, or even if we were actually going to. I have talked about moving out of Arizona for so long, and I brought it up to Lavelle and he wasn't opposed to leaving, so we just decided, okay, we'll start looking at different cities to move to. And I have family that lives out here and they've always talked really highly of it. I see it on social media all the time about being like a really fun place to live. There's lots of things to do. And the biggest thing on why we wanted to leave Arizona is because we felt like we had nothing to do all the time. We lived in Tempe for a while and then we moved to a smaller city because we were planning to have kids, and then that changed. But we moved to a smaller city, so there was really nothing to do out there. It's a very slow area and very like family oriented, and so when you're not having kids, it's not as enjoyable to live out there. That's really what pushed us to move, and I felt like moving back to Tempe or to Chandler wasn't enough for me. We had lived there previously for 5 years before we moved out to the smaller town, and it just didn't seem like enough for me to just move back to Tempe. So when we were looking for new cities, we had a couple in mind. Dallas came up because I have family out here who's always spoken highly of it. They've lived here for a long time and really like it. And so in November of 2023, we took a trip out here. It was just like a weekend trip to just explore a little bit and look around and see how we liked it. We only spent 48 hours in Dallas, so honestly it wasn't enough to really get a full idea of what it would be like to live here. So we came back in March of this year and spent a whole week here and really explored. We toured a bunch of apartments and we ended up really liking it. We just liked that there was so much to do, and even if you don't live in Dallas itself, like in the downtown Dallas area, you live in one of the suburbs, there's still a lot of things to do and you don't have to drive far to get to those activities. We really enjoyed that. Plus, diversity in Dallas is a lot better than it is in Arizona. Specifically, the Black population is bigger in Dallas than it is in Arizona. So we were really looking for somewhere where we felt more comfortable, which ironically, when you think of Texas, you don't think of diversity or like being very welcoming. But we were pleasantly surprised when we came here that it was very diverse and there was all different types of people here. So that's ultimately how we came to choose Dallas. Next question I got were there any other cities on your mind before you chose Dallas? Yes. Lavelle was really set on, Lavelle's my husband if you're new here. He was really set on Charlotte, North Carolina. We have never been there. We both have lived on the East Coast when we were younger, but never been there as an adult. But something was really drawing him to Charlotte. We mentioned Atlanta, Georgia, because at the time his parents lived in Georgia. We were just kind of figuring out where we could go that had stuff to do and met all the things that we wanted out of a city. So we were just kind of looking all over. The only issue with those other states is that we don't have any family in those states besides when his parents lived there, but his parents ended up moving back, so we wouldn't have had anybody there in Georgia. We also thought about Houston, but then the weather was an issue for me because they have like a really bad hurricane, so that was out of the question. So it was between Dallas, Charlotte, Houston, and Atlanta for us to move to. As far as the move itself, I did get 2 questions about how the move was and if I think the move was worth it now. The move went really well. We did full service movers. We shipped my car. All we had to do was pack. I really didn't have to do much. I literally just had to pack everything to get the movers ready and then unpack everything when we got here, and my cousins had came over the day of and helped us move a couple things. So as far as the move itself, it wasn't that bad. It was just kind of a little nerve-wracking because I'm relying on other people to ship my stuff safely. I'm relying on someone to ship my car safely and bring it back with no damage. That all went really smooth and easy. As far as like getting here, like I said, we flew. So we got here same day and it was very, very simple. I actually forgot to turn on our air tag in the moving truck, so I did not know where our stuff was for 2 days. I did remember to put an AirTag in my car, so I could see where my car was. I just couldn't see where all of our stuff and our furniture was, but I do know that if I did have access to that AirTag, I would have been checking it every 5 seconds because I was checking it with my car. But everything got here the day that it was supposed to. Everything came in one piece. We had some minor damages to some stuff, but it wasn't anything too bad. Our apartment is a new build, so once we got here, there was a lot of like things that were still left out. Like there was a ladder in our apartment, the dryer still had like the hose that wasn't attached. Like they kind of just came in, dropped off the washer and dryer and then left. If you guys watched our moving vlogs, the washer moved a lot and it was hitting the wall. Our outlet and our island wasn't working. Something else wasn't working, I don't remember anymore, but like there was a lot of things that weren't working. Like they definitely rushed the job to finish this unit for us to move in, so that was a little frustrating. Maintenance was in our apartment a lot, just fixing so many things that first week and first 2 weeks while we were here. So it was going smooth up until we got here pretty much, and we just had to deal with like apartment things, and it was just very, very frustrating. It kind of felt like a lot, but the maintenance team here is really good. They came and fixed everything in a reasonable amount of time, and so now everything is fixed, everything is working, and we are back to normal. As far as if the move was worth it, 1000%. I am so happy that we made this move. I feel very confident in our decision to come here. I thought I was going to be a mess. I thought I was gonna be crying every single day. I thought I was just gonna be so depressed leaving my family, because I've never lived far away from my family. The farthest I've lived from them is like 40 minutes. And that's nothing. So being a whole 15 hours away from my parents and my sister, it was a lot, and I was just really worried that I wasn't gonna take it well, but I've been doing really, really well. I think I only cried once. My dad has sent me a text message and I just started crying because I obviously miss him, but like besides that, I've been doing really well. I've surprised myself with how well I'm taking this move and how good I'm doing. I think it also does help because I moved with my husband, and so I'm not completely alone. I'm sure if I moved alone, it'd be a different story, but just the fact that I am as happy as I am, I know in my heart that we made the right decision to move here and that this was a good decision for us. We have been able to do things during the week and go out, and on the weekends there's not a question of like what should we do. There's always something going on. There's so many food options around us. That was the biggest thing also. We had no food options where we lived. It was a bunch of franchise places, but now we get to go to different mom and pop restaurants and local restaurants and support the community. So it's worth it so much. Like I highly recommend, if you've been wanting to leave your hometown, to do it. It's something that I've always wanted to do, and I finally got to do it, and so I feel really good about it, and I'm very proud of us for getting out and actually sticking to it and actually leaving, because I talk all day about wanting to do so many different things, and the fact that we actually did this just is so cool to me, and I'm very proud of us for doing it. So this move has been very worth it. I'm very happy here, and I cannot wait just to be here longer. It's only been a month since we've been here, so we honestly haven't done too much. We haven't been here that long at all, but I'm just excited. I'm just really excited for the future. I got a couple questions about why we wanted to leave Arizona, why we decided to make this move, and if this will be a permanent move or will we move somewhere else. So why we wanted to leave Arizona, I kind of touched on it, but we were just bored. We were ready for something new. I didn't want to just move back to Tempe and live over there again. Tempe was a lot of fun, like don't get me wrong. There's a lot of stuff to do. There's a lot of food places out there, but it was still just Arizona, and Arizona is all that I knew, and I just wanted something new. I was craving just something different. I was craving being uncomfortable. I felt like I was just in the same patterns and doing the same things day in and day out, and I just wanted to experience something different. And I truly believe that in order for yourself to grow as a person, you have to be uncomfortable, and I never had that experience. Like my friends were always really close, 20-minute, 10-minute drive away. My parents were 5 minutes away. Like I never had to just rely on just myself. And I mean, I still don't now because I have my husband here with me, but like now we have to use maps to go everywhere. I don't know where I'm going. I don't know anybody. I have to make friends out here. Like I'm in an uncomfortable situation, but it's exciting, and this is exactly what I was looking for. And I touched on this a little bit earlier, but we moved out of Tempe to a smaller town to have kids, and we no longer want children, and so why not just move? We have no responsibilities here, nothing is tying us to Arizona, so why not just try it out, and if we hate it we can always come back. It was more so of just a why not. We've never lived away from our hometown, never lived away from our people, so we figured now was the perfect time, since we don't have any kids, since we don't want kids, you know, we're still really young, we have a lot of life ahead of us, so why not? It's so funny when people ask me this question on why we move, because I don't really have an answer besides we wanted to, and it was my time to be selfish, so that's why we left. As far as if this move is permanent for us, I don't know. We both agreed that we were gonna at least spend 3 years here in Dallas and then decide if we were gonna keep going, go back to Arizona, or stay here. And the reason why we chose 3 years instead of just like 1 year is because I don't think 1 year is enough for you to really decide if you like living somewhere or not. I think 2 years is good enough. Lavelle said that 3 years would be his cutoff, so we both just agreed to do 3 years. I think by the 3rd year we will know whether or not we like it or not. Honestly, by the 2-year mark we might also know if we like it here or not, but I want to at least give ourselves time to really settle in here, explore, move around to different cities, like maybe leave this apartment one year and go to another apartment and just try different places before we make a decision. We have talked about, like, if we did leave Dallas, we could go to Austin, or we could go to like Charlotte, or we can go to another city on our list that we wanted to move to if we didn't choose Dallas. So I don't know if this is permanent. Right now it feels very permanent. Like, I don't have any plans on leaving. I really enjoy it out here. But I don't know what the future will hold. Somebody asked if we had to leave our jobs. So no, we thankfully both work remote. Both of our jobs sold their offices post-pandemic, so we don't even have an office to go to. So the fact that both of our jobs were both remote, it made it very, very easy to make the decision to move. For me, all I had to do was like fill out a move request with my company, and they approved it within like 24 hours. So that was pretty simple. Lavelle's job is also super laid back. I think he had to do the same, just fill out paperwork saying that like he's moving, why, and then they approved it as well. So yeah, very, very easy. We're very lucky to have really laid back jobs and remote jobs. Next question is, do you guys both have family there? If not, how hard was it to leave your family? So I have cousins here. I actually have a lot of cousins here, and it wasn't like that at first. We all kind of just like moved here slowly each year. I have one cousin who has lived here majority of her life, who is like, we like to call the ringleader that gets everybody to move to Dallas. She is partly the reason why we are here, which is funny because she has been like telling everybody to move to Texas, and we actually came. But yeah, I have 6 or 7 cousins who live out here, and we're all kind of like spread out around the Dallas area. As far as Lavelle, he does not have any family here, which I'm very grateful that he still decided to move, or still agreed to move, because like I said, I have all the family here, he does not, so he was leaving all of his family and his friends for me. Which is another question I got, is whose idea was it to move, and was it hard to convince the other? So it was my idea to move. I have been talking about moving for so long, but I never thought we would actually go. I always said like, oh, it would be so cool to leave our hometown. Oh, we should move here. I would love to live here. I wonder what it would be like if we left Arizona, blah, blah, blah. I would see TikToks all the time about how amazing it is for you to leave your hometown and how much you grow leaving your hometown. So it was my idea, and I brought it up to Lavelle, and I can't remember what he said. He didn't say no, but I don't remember if he was like on board right away, but I definitely didn't have to convince him at all, which I'm very grateful for. I think he also was like interested in leaving the state, but never wanted to because his whole family was there. Like, he has a really big like immediate family, and all of his friends is there. Like, we both grew up there, so obviously like it's a big thing to move and leave all the people that you know. But thinking back, I don't think he ever disagreed with me on moving. I don't really remember. I'll have to ask him. Next question is something you're looking forward to about living there. That's a good question. I think just having so many things to do, lots of food options. My AC just turned on, so sorry if you can hear it ringing. But I think just being able to do different activities, different events. It's a bigger city, so there's a lot going on. There's a lot of people here, a lot of different people to meet. I think the biggest thing is just the unknown that I'm looking forward to. Like, I don't know what's out here. I didn't know really anything about Dallas. So just being out here itself is exciting, but mostly the big events that happen, because you know we're in a bigger city now, so there's all these different type of events going on every single weekend. Texas is a really big football state, or Dallas is a big football city, I would say, because of the Cowboys, and Lavelle and I are huge football fans, and so just being around like that environment is very exciting. Like we look forward to every Sunday now. They have a lot of different like places where you can go watch the game, so it's really cool being around other people who are equally as excited about football. And here they like spend millions of dollars on their high school football field, so that just tells me all I need to know about this place being very big on football and sports in general. Being around a bunch of like-minded young adults is also very exciting. The area that we live in is very young, and everyone that we've met in our apartment complex so far is our age, so that's really cool, because where we lived before was a much older city, and you know, people were having kids. A lot of people here don't have kids, so that's really exciting just to be around like-minded people. A lot more job opportunities are out here. We both obviously love our job, so we don't need to find a new job, but if for whatever reason we need to find a new job, we live in a city where there's lots of companies, lots of jobs are moving here, and there's endless options. Another thing I would say I'm looking forward to is just learning more about myself and Lavelle, because we've just been so comfortable where we were previously that maybe there's some things that we don't know about each other. Like, yes, we've been together for a very long time, but I feel like I'm still learning things about him and vice versa. I'm learning things about myself. I am excited to just grow as a person out here. So yeah, I'm excited for all the things outside of our apartment and internally, mentally, emotionally, just excited for everything, but mostly football, food, and things to do. My cousin actually left me a question saying, did you move to spend time with your favorite cousin who you will still never see? Which is hilarious, because I live 5 minutes from my cousin and I have not seen her since we moved. I did see her for her birthday, so technically I have seen her, but that was the only time, and it was an outing event. But this girl lives 5 minutes up the road from me and I haven't seen her. But yeah, I do appreciate her for getting us to move out here, because we are very happy here. Another question I got is, who is going to be the decor? Oh, what's going to be the decor of the house? Or what's going to be the decor of the house? Also, can we get a house tour? I think you mean like how, I think this person's asking like how we're gonna decorate the house, which I don't know. We are very minimalistic people, so we don't like clutter. We don't like having a lot of things. Like this tree and lamp are probably the most decorative that I'll get in our living room, besides like cute little knickknacks and stuff. But we're not very big decorating people. I do want to have like art up on the wall, but I don't know what type of art I want to get. We have a lot of black accents in our apartment, so lots of like black accents of things. As far as like a color scheme, black. Yeah, I don't really know for decorations, because I just don't like having a lot of things around the house, but like maybe little knickknacks as we go along. But I don't know, I also suck at decorating, so I might need someone else to help me decorate. Like I have a mutual on YouTube, her name is Keisha Petway. I'll leave her channel down below. She is like the queen of decorating. I love watching her home decor videos, so maybe I need to reach out to her and ask her how to decorate this apartment, because I truly don't know. I don't have an interior design bone in my body. I just kind of go with the flow and hope that things look good. But yeah, I don't really know. I am in charge of the decorating because Lavelle pretty much just leaves it up to me, but I also just don't like a lot of stuff around the house, so I don't really know. As far as a house tour, I'm not gonna do a house tour. I've never been a big fan of like showing how my entire layout looks in my home. Back when we lived in Tempe in Arizona, I was showing our kitchen or something. I don't even remember what I was showing, but I was doing a house tour and someone commented the name of my apartment complex, the management company, and the cross streets of where I lived, and she didn't mean anything by it. I could tell that it was like an innocent comment, because she was like, oh, I used to live there, I love that apartment. But it just made me feel very uncomfortable that someone knew where I lived just based off of the way that my layout of my apartment was. So ever since then I was like, I'm never doing that again. But you guys will see lots of the house through my vlogs and stuff like that, but no official house tour from me. Next question is, was it hard to downsize from a house into an apartment? So we moved from a 3-bedroom, like 1,600 square foot house to a 3-bedroom apartment. Yes, it was hard to downsize because we had to get rid of a lot of things, and we had to be very mindful of like we can't take this because we don't have enough space. We have to get rid of this because there's not enough storage here. So in that aspect, it was a little tricky because we had to find an apartment that would fit a lot of our furniture. Whereas if we had a smaller table, we wouldn't have had such a hard time finding a place, and we would have had more options as far as like where we could live. The only thing that I am having an issue with now is storage. We have a lot less storage than we did in our house. We obviously don't have a garage anymore, so I don't have that storage. We had to get rid of my gym, which I don't know how I could forget that. That was a big thing. But we got rid of my gym because my gym was in my garage, so we no longer have that. So yes, it was hard to downsize, but I say no because we did not need a 3-bedroom house. It's just us two. We don't have anybody else living with us. We have very minimal things in our house, so we didn't need that much space in our house. So it wasn't hard to downsize like mentally. It just was, we have house size furniture that need to fit in an apartment, so that part of it was hard, but not as hard as you think it would. But I would say if you have like kids or if you have a lot of stuff, it might be a little harder. Unless you're willing to get rid of a bunch of stuff, it might not be too hard. But for our situation, it wasn't terrible because we just don't have a lot of stuff to begin with, and we barely filled up the house that we did live in. And the last questions I got were tips for anyone thinking of moving out of state and tips on moving to a new state with no family. So like I mentioned, I do have family here. I don't have my parents here, so obviously that part of it is missing, and that does suck, but thankfully I do have other family here that makes up for it. Like I've been seeing my cousin and her husband a lot, and that has made it better not having anybody here and not having any friends here. As far as the family aspect of it, obviously everything gets better with time, so just give yourself time if you are moving to a new city by yourself. I have tried to make sure I'm like texting and calling my family, if not every day, every other day, or at least like weekly. I try and call them in FaceTime, so that makes it a little bit easier. But I think family is like the hardest part about moving, because family is everything, you know, especially if you grew up around them. Like it's gonna be hard to leave them, but it does get easier every day. And I look forward to calling my parents and my sister and be like, hey, this is what we did this weekend, or this is what I learned, or I don't know, this is what's going on. And it's exciting, and your family will be excited for you to be out and about and exploring. Like that's been the best part about it, is that like my family is genuinely excited that we are out here and we're doing things for ourselves. So that has made it easier because I can share these experiences with them through photos and videos and FaceTime. So yeah, take it day by day. It does get easier, but also like I look forward now to flying back to Arizona and visiting my family and friends. But as far as tips, I would definitely, like over anything, go to the state or city that you want to live in first. Spend a week there, rent a car, drive around, go to like the grocery stores, go look at different restaurants. If you can, stay in an Airbnb so that you have to go grocery shopping, so you can kind of get a feel of what that feels like. But just try to go to the city that you want to live in and live a normal life for the week that you are here, or for the few days that you are here, just to kind of get a feel of it. Obviously a week isn't a long time to really see if you're going to like a city, but it's enough time to kind of get an idea of what it's going to be like living there. Definitely do a lot of research. I looked up so many YouTube videos, so many TikTok videos, Reddit. I looked up so many things about Dallas before we even came here. Like I mentioned, our big things were we wanted stuff to do, we wanted good places to eat, we wanted like diversity. So I looked up like things to do in Dallas, food to eat in Dallas, Black people living in Dallas, like what it's like to live in Dallas as a Black person. Those are the type of things that I looked up just to make sure that like we were making the right decision. I even looked at like geographically, like what is the diversity here, what's the different breakdowns. Like I looked up all the things to make the right decision on coming here, because I did not want to get here and regret our decision or hate it or be wrong or come here blindly. So I did the most research I possibly could on what it is like to live here. I watched videos of like pros and cons of living in Dallas. I watched people who have left Dallas. I wanted to just see everything. So definitely do a lot of research. Save as much money as you possibly can. We took maybe like a year to 6 months to just really save a lot of money to make this move as easy as possible. Because since we saved money to move here, we weren't like paying off credit cards. We were able to just like kind of start our life and live right away without being like, okay, we can't go out this weekend because we have to pay this bill. We were able to just start our life. That's all the questions that I have. Let me know down in the comments below if you have any more. I can answer them for you guys, and We can talk in the comments all about my move if I didn't answer any questions that you may have. I love doing these Q&As, so make sure you follow me on Instagram so you can be a part of the next one. Yeah, thanks for all the love on my moving vlogs. I had so much fun filming and editing those. Like, it was really cool just taking you guys through every day of our move and all through the processes. So if you haven't seen my moving vlogs, definitely check them out. I'll have them all linked down below. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in my next one. Bye. Now I'm thinking might have caught the June blues, yeah.